Welcome to the You Are a Force podcast channel, your go-to space for real stories, fearless dreams, and unstoppable women rewriting the rules. And the force behind this podcast. Here is your host, Binoli Botadara.
Hi everyone, welcome to You Are a Force, where we celebrate women who are bold, versatile, and unapologetically themselves. I'm your host, Binoli Botadara, and my guest today is a woman who has rewritten the rules of modern luxury. From the ateliers of Burberry and Anya Hindmarch to building her own brand called Esin Akan from her name. And I'm very proud to call her an alumni of LBS because London Business School I also attended. And from the international acclaimed design to the philosophy of the craftsmanship with functionality, which is completely unheard of these days, she has actually created a global brand, and her brand has been also awarded as a best designer bag brand in the UK. So without a further ado, I really want to deep dive into the world of Esin Akan because her bags just don't complete the outfit, they actually empower the lifestyle. So please welcome visionary designer and entrepreneur Esin Akan. Esin, thank you so much for being on You Are a Force.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Is so good. I think after chasing for so many months, finally we are here. I'm so excited.
Me too.
So,
Thank you for having
I said
me.
I want to jump right back into the world of Esin Akan, but you as a person, you grew up in Turkey and you actually studied international trade in Turkey, and then you studied accessories in Milan, and then of course you came to London and you did your MBA from London Business School. It's a very rare blend of commerce and creativity. So please take us back through the journey. How was it to like growing up in that environment, and looking back, do you think that all these, rare education and expertise you acquired, is it helping you run this business?
Yes, of course. I always wanted to do my own business, and I always wanted to travel the world and create beautiful products that people would be willing to buy. But I was never ready till I joined LBS.
Okay.
But yes, I did international trade, study international trade in Istanbul in one of the top business schools, Boğaziçi University. And then I worked in fashion in 3 years in between Milan and Istanbul, as well as in between Paris and Istanbul. So that gave me a huge new window of understanding about fashion. Those times in Italy and Milan, and I said, you know what, I'm flying to Milan. And at the time, my dream was, okay, these people are having great fun, like designing beautiful things on their mind
Yeah,
free. Like that's what I want to do. And
yeah.
that's my journey. That dream led me to the journey to complete my accessories design education in Milan.
Mm-hmm.
And then I spent 2 years there. Then and then I came one weekend to visit my sister in London.
Okay.
At the time, I graduated and I wanted to find a job. So finding it in Milan didn't work out. So I came to London. It was at the time, over 15 years ago, it was very vibrant, very international, very welcoming. And I then got the offer right away from firstly from Jaeger for an internship, and 2 weeks after at Burberry to start working on handbags. That
Wow.
was the perfect fit because I really like working with leather goods. And the production at the time mostly was in Turkey, in Italy, and at the time also we had China production, but my specialty was production in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave me a huge learning, like
Right.
steep learning curve about how to make. You can design things in Milan, that's what I learned, but like turning those designs into like a well-crafted product is what I learned at Burberry,
Okay.
getting to know all the top suppliers in every single material that goes into a bag. So
Hmm.
that was big. That was a big, yeah, school for me to learn a lot.
That's
Does
amazing.
that answer your question?
It does, and that's amazing because it's so beautiful to see that, you got actually very early on to get into the quintessential British brands like Burberry and even
Yeah.
Anya Hindmarch, right? So I really want to understand, you mentioned that, you understood how they actually function and the top suppliers and manufacturing and actually behind the scenes of what the beautiful bags we
Yeah.
see. But what was that one critical learning from both these brands or your association which you took by a surprise that you did not even anticipate and which you are actually perhaps using in your own business?
Yes, I think the biggest learning is whatever you do, you need to do it really well. Sometimes less is more. So in the beginning, I was creating so many different styles, so many colors. When I look back, it was complete. At the end of the day, the 80/20 rule is very valid for fashion. So what really brings you the money, the recognition is sometimes just one single style.
Mm,
And you might spend hours and hours on a huge collection to deal with them, even to get them made. It's like every single product, every single color, you need to think about so many things. Which color stitching goes with lavender color leather, right? Like there are
yeah.
so many different details that goes into every SKU.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than doing too much, I think doing one product in the best possible way is one big learning.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think understanding, knowing your audience is extremely important, and
Yeah.
every brand's audience might be slightly different than the other.
Yeah.
The reason people buy our bags, we recognize, is we have this designer aesthetic combined with the versatility aspect. We're
Mm-hmm.
known with the most versatile bags of England. So that's what is
Yeah.
our reputation, and people buy our bags for that reason. A normal tote that looks like a normal tote can be a backpack, a travel bag, a laptop bag, and weekend crossbody. So something like that doesn't
Mm.
exist in another brand.
Yes.
And people come to us because that doesn't exist in any other brands. And before I started, there was either Tumi or say Burberry, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about here design aesthetics, beauty, and an aesthetic led by a designer. Here, people have functional needs, like they need to accommodate their laptop inside the bag or their iPhone or whatever they're
Yeah.
carrying in a daytime.
Right.
And that, like, there was no merger of both understanding of a designer aesthetic uh, with premium craftsmanship
Mm.
combined with the functionality piece that people actually need. Like these
Mm.
women we're talking about, they're working. They don't like
Yeah.
stand in front of a beautiful, balcony and spend their day looking at the birds. It's not
True.
our women. Our
True.
women are very active. They go out, they work, they come back home, and then maybe they go out again for a dinner. Sometimes they don't have time to come dinner. So we wanted to make bags that actually work throughout the whole day, that can take you from morning gym to work to evening event without having to stop by home.
Mm.
So we save time and essentially money for our audience. So
Yeah.
knowing your audience, understanding what they need,
Mm.
and bringing that into a product is what we did differently.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it because I have seen actually your bags in, I think in one of the stores. I don't even remember which one. And that really stuck with me that it's so versatile.
There is this
And
one.
I genuinely thought that only a woman can think that way to create something so
Oh,
versatile.
absolutely. Yeah,
I don't think any man can understand, how we
absolutely
juggle
no.
between the lifestyles, and that's amazing. And I really want to pick up your brain in how you started this in 2012 with just $15,000. You really started your own business while you were studying at London Business School. And it's famously, I think I read it somewhere that you sold your first bag at the campus, on the campus to
Correct.
somebody, which is so cute and amazing. But
Yeah.
it's also talks about how passionate you were. So can you give us an idea, how did you start? And 15,000 those days, I don't know if it was large or small to
It
start
wasn't
your
a lot
own.
of money. No.
No, it's not, right?
No, no, it's like peanuts at the time. But the story goes like, here's the thing, like when I was studying at LBS, my
Hmm.
focus was entrepreneurship. And it wasn't just like an idea I found overnight. I have pitched lots of ideas to LBS faculty. I said, I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
Help me to assess all the ideas that I come to you with. And then find me the right one. And that's
Hmm.
what we did with the Faculty of Entrepreneurship. I pitched so many good ideas and they said, nah, nah, you don't have experience. And then when it was the handbags idea, the versatile designer quality handbags at affordable prices, they knew I had every single connection to make that business happen. They
Hmm.
knew I could bring a product on their desk over a week with my past connections,
Sure.
and the product looked beautiful and people wanted to buy it,
Hmm.
right? And that was like a no-brainer for faculty to say, this is your idea, you go for it, we will support you, we will give you the office, we'll give you the funding. Lander became our sponsor to create the brand. Deloitte became our sponsor to do our accounting and finance. That was like a huge boost of,
Absolutely.
motivation and encouragement to move into this little incubator room, do business with the other selected businesses. So that's how it started. And I literally didn't have a product at the time. I just had beautiful sketches and designs.
Hmm.
And I was just pitching my like idea at the time
Hmm.
to faculty and students. And the entrepreneurship faculty head at the time said, I want this for Christmas for my wife. Will you get it for me?
Hmm.
And
Wow.
even the company was not set up at the time. And I had to go and like set up the company first, like to make it happen. Yeah, we have an order. We have to go and start doing this.
Yes.
There seems to be
Yes.
demand for it. And right after that, all my friends wanted the same exact bag. Like it was
Uh,
like a no-brainer to start the business. And it was a lucky day, 2012. And at the incubator and entrepreneurs circle, we were making the debate at the pub at the time. So are we all going to do this? This is the date we all start. And
wow.
like 4 or 5 businesses out of maybe 20 were set up on that day. The people who had the courage to pursue their idea and turn it
Uh-huh.
into business, we all set it up at the same time. And it was very exciting times. I was like with a post machine touring around in the pub. Actually, I was not touring. I was at a desk, eh, what you call a pub table at the time, people
Hmm.
lining up to give pre-orders to me. And
Wow.
there are very, very, successful women in that group that at the time pre-funded the business to make our first collection. So
Wow.
while drinking a glass
Yeah.
of beer on the same time, I was like checking out how much funding did I raise. And, but that was a beautiful start. I think LBS community was extremely supportive of entrepreneurs and women.
Hmm.
So I can't thank enough for the push at the time.
I love that. I love that. And I totally understand what you're saying about the LBS community because I am a part of it and I understand how amazing it is to have that support initially when you're just taking the baby steps. And I'm so glad you did. And I'm going to remember this story. It just literally gave me chills. So well done on you. But I want to know a very cheeky way that how much did you sell the first bag at? And did you like make any profits with your initial first collection? And I also want to know how is the process like in terms of from sketch to the production? How long does it take?
Yeah. So in the first couple of years, I think your fixed cost and like one time of costs are way higher. So profitability, forget about it. I think in the first year we were not profitable, but um what we did was like we invested in like setting up the company, setting up the website. These are one-off costs that you have to get
Hmm.
done. And
Yeah,
then it spreads into time as years pass. Of course, it's much
sure.
easier to be profitable after the first 2 years, I think. So that's the answer to that question. About the process, I just executed the exact process that I learned at Burberry, like design, product development, production, quality control, and I even improved the process by like questioning the process of what Burberry or Anya Hindmarch did and how I could improve it even further. So in our case, in most, like in many fashion companies, the whole process takes about 6 months.
Okay.
And 3 months of that is all about design and the prototyping, to getting the first samples out. That takes about one and a half each. And then after that, we pass the like pre-production samples that are approved to our like supplier for them to make it in a more bulk production. The quality control is extremely strict in our process, so we check every material before they go into production to begin with. Anything like any leather that is not good enough, we have a zero waste policy, so we use them for sample making only, but not
Okay.
for customer order.
Actual. Okay.
And then materials, all the accessories are checked as well. So then after that, they go into production. And still, even we are so strict about it, there happens to be some, quality issues when all the bulk production is ready. So everything is checked one by one, pre-shipment, by our professional quality control partner company. So they write a huge report of, I don't know, 80 pages probably about every single product. Even a dot on a leather or something would come to me before it's shipped.
Wow.
So at the time of the quality control, things are getting like small things like a glue mark here and there. They get fixed right away before shipment, before packing. And then after that, if there is any item that is unfixable, in your terms defective, would be rejected to go into the truck to come to us. So it doesn't get even shipped. We don't see it. And I also there have, again, zero waste policy. I allow the supplier to gift it to their friends and family, or use it for other purposes, for references in the feature. We use them as a reference for, I don't know, stitching or whatsoever. So we
Okay.
never waste anything, but nothing that is defective would be shipped out from our
Okay.
factory. Despite that, things happen, the customers receive their orders. They're mostly happy. We have quite a good customer review rating, over 4.7. But still things happen, right? And
Yeah.
there we just help our customers with, if an item is defective or anything, we offer a replacement or a repair service, a lifetime free repair service and guarantee. And yeah, we try to help and keep the customers happy as much as we can.
Amazing, amazing. And I love bags, so I can totally resonate. And I was just thinking how beautiful the journey is when we as a consumer, or I as a consumer, would never realize what all has gone through in the backdrop. So thank you for taking us through that journey. But I really want to understand that the luxury handbag market is at a formidable landscape, right? It's projected to surpass actually 100 billion
Yeah.
mark by 2028, and with the CAGR growth of almost 6.3%. But also, this particular space, the luxury bag market, is dominated by a handful of legacy houses like Hermes, Chanel, LVMH, and LVMH owns around 75 luxury brands, right, out of all of them.
Correct.
So, how do you, as an independent designer, actually find your own foot in the ground? That's one. And also, I want to know that you managed to actually convince the global retailers like Macy's and Harvey Nicholas to actually put your brand out there, where all the other brands I mentioned also are there. So, that to me was really fascinating. So, can you just take us through? How did you manage to convince, and how do you actually find, apart from being versatile, how do you find your own space amongst this market?
Well, before you actually knock the door of any retailer, you need to know your own story very well. I had to check all the competitors and I had to go back and tell why and what we do differently and why people would prefer us. Because
Mm-hmm.
that you need as an answer before you go to anyone. And in our case, the answer was like, we make the most versatile bags that are sustainable, that are at affordable price points with the designer quality and craftsmanship. So that's our story we tell. And when they receive a sample, like they see the
They know.
quality,
Yeah.
they know it. They like if you put it next to I don't know, a Hermes bag or a Mulberry bag or a Burberry bag, there is no difference in terms of,
Quality.
quality.
Yeah.
Just the aesthetic is different because they are made in the same factories
Yeah.
with these big brands. So, and that's our difference. So many people, I see so many more emerging designers coming to market, but they lack the supplier knowledge. So you can see it in their stitching, in their edge dye, like I spent over 15 years in selecting the right edge dye that doesn't peel, or spend ages on small accessories like hardware that goes into those products that doesn't scratch or break.
Mm.
Like
Mm.
all these things are learned in time. I'm still learning every day. And
Sure,
like,
sure.
and handpicking every supplier we work with,
Mm.
uh, satisfying the customer what they want. This takes time. And I have to admit, I wasn't perfect in my first 3 years. I
Of
was
course.
telling to a friend, a good friend from LBS a couple of days ago, I actually have a pity for people who invested in me in my first years. I think those products are, they think it's vintage and they're really cool and stuff. But actually, in my own opinion, we improved so much from
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
where we were versus where we are today. The quality, craftsmanship, everything is like probably 10 times better.
Mm.
I still appreciate those people, but I think in time really helps in really making things way better than people just start now.
Mm.
Does that answer your question, or did I miss out anything?
No, it does, it does. And it was just about like I was just very curious to actually because it's quite a bold thing to convince these people and
Oh
put
yeah,
the
coming
product.
back to the retailers, yes, the quality we offer, the versatility that's not offered by anyone else. And
Mm.
now our biggest selling point to those retailers is the sustainability aspect. So we are the first brand that used olive leather, a plant-based material, in
Mm.
handbags. So that's also a now new story we're telling to all new retailers. We are the only ones that first used it in handbags, and it's an olive leather. It's great to talk about it because I'm very excited about it. So sustainability is also a huge piece of Esin Akan. Since the beginning, we always used byproduct of food industry as leather, calf leather, that is sustainable. We had zero waste policy from the beginning. We use every small piece in like small accessories or make things out of them. As I said, in quality control, we use defected leathers for sampling. So we always have this sustainable approach. We make very small quantities, both for exclusivity to our customers as well as to not to do excess stock that
Right.
ends up in, I don't know, waste or being
Yeah.
reduced by 50. Like we don't do that. We make
Sure.
what the amount of bags that people want in limited quantities,
Mm.
and we try to change them as much as we can as well. Um, so we're very, like, in that sense, I would say it's a very European minded brand,
Mm-hmm.
and very sustainability minded brand. And our
Mm.
new, like, latest innovation in the material of like olive leather is,
Mm.
I think, is a very worthwhile story to tell to any customer and retailer. So they get very excited about it. The material is made out of olive waste. Like basically after olives are squeezed for their
Mm.
oil, we there is a sediment left, and we take that material and turn it into a leather-like material.
Love
It's a
that.
new gen awarded product, but the product material wasn't really suitable for bags, so we had to work with the supplier to develop a new article that would work for the bags, which is durable, like water resistant, scratch free, smooth, and like as leather, all the qualities of leather, but
Mm.
even more unified, even more smoother, and even more beautiful. So I really
Amazing.
love the product,
And
and
it's also fascinating that you started this when it wasn't even in vogue, the sustainability and not
yes,
harming animals for just the handbags wasn't
yes,
in vogue. So you were ahead of your times, and which I love that
always.
part of it because I mean I am a culprit of having leather bags, but I'm a vegetarian, and one of the reasons I don't eat meat is because I don't want to harm animals, and I grew up in that environment, but I still try and always look at the alternatives compared to the leather. options if I can find something, look alike or something really good.
Just also to flag, like not every vegan bag is actually sustainable. Majority of this, like vegan, what they call vegan bags, are made out of PU or PVC, which is essentially 100% plastic, which is very hard to dissolve in nature, and it's actually more harmful than real leather. So
Wow.
this is part of the reason we went for a plant-based material, which can then dissolve in nature. It's circular. It's make use of waste, turn into a luxury product. So there is a lot more benefit to it than a standard, what they call vegan material. So that's one very important thing for people to understand. Not
Yeah.
every vegan bag is actually
No.
sustainable. It's
Yeah.
better to use a byproduct leather bag because leather is still organic, it's still natural, it dissolves in nature, and we
Yeah.
literally essentially make use of something that would go in a landfill if not used. So
Hmm.
unless the whole world goes vegetarian, there will always be that calf leather that
I
needs to
know.
be reused. And we use that material and we
Fair
use the
enough.
best skins out of that material. So it's basically respecting nature, circularity, and making use of things that would otherwise go waste is our philosophy. And we do that both for genuine leather as well as our organic plant-based vegan leather.
Love that. Love that. No, thanks for letting us know because I think that's something which we would not understand as a consumer. So thanks for sharing that light on this particular very sensitive topic, but a lot of greenwashing happen on
True.
this particular aspect. But
And
I
I need to
really,
also tell one more thing. Longevity is also sustainable. If a vegan bag that's made out of plastic is going to go into waste in 1 year versus a leather bag that will last you 10 years, which one is more sustainable?
of course, the leather bag.
Or even better now, even more upgraded version is the plant-based leather that can last again, 10 years like a leather bag, maybe 20 years. We
Yeah,
haven't tested 20 years because the product just came
true.
5 years ago, and we've been
Yeah,
testing it over 5 years, and so far so good.
amazing.
It is as good as leather in terms of durability. Whether it's any better, we will see it
Sure.
further
No,
down the
sure.
line.
And I think what I love about these global giants or these bags that you can pass on to the generations like an heirloom piece because they have actually created that kind of quality. I own a couple of brands in my wardrobe, but the 2.55 Chanel is the one which I have, and it is just beautiful and touchwood. And I think with every passing day, it's gonna get better and smoother, I feel.
Yeah.
So
And I
maybe,
was speaking about the same exact thing with my leather supplier. I was saying, my customer like this, and how could we create this? And he would say, if it's real leather,
it is
it's
gonna get
like
better,
it will
smoother.
get better, but by using it, it will get better.
Yes.
Because the first time you get it, it's not as like smooth
No.
feel as
No.
you like it to be. And it because it's an organic product, it gets more beautiful as
Hmm.
you use it. And funny enough, we discovered the same thing with our olive leather. I don't know whether it's the oil inside, whatever it is, the
Hmm.
product gets so much more squeezable
Smoother.
and
Ah.
smoother, and so you just want to hug and use it as a pillow almost. Like
Oh.
it's so, it has such a good aging process. I'm in love with it. So in both products, we always look for how could we make this product even more beautiful as time passes.
I
And
can't wait. I can't wait to own one of your
um,
bags because it really, really sounds very romantic to me.
thank
I have bought a Gucci bag, which is beautiful. It's one of my favorite bags, but it was suede leather and it got really, really ruined very, very quickly because initially I was using it in India and I'd gone to New York and one of my best friends, she said that, it'll have to be washed. So you leave it here and I'll get it washed. And I got it washed in New York. I mean, charged me my arm and leg just to wash that bag. And when it came back, it was so bad. And I mean, it got ruined completely. Then I had to send it to the Gucci. Then they did something, but it is not the same one. And after that, I have learned the lesson. I'm not buying suede bags ever again. I mean, they look gorgeous, but it's
True.
not. So I think using the right fabric is so critical and essential. So
That's so true. Well, I'm also a bit challenged with that because all the influencers we work with ask for this suede because that's the trend, right? And when I ask to my customers, they say, I wouldn't invest in that. I'm sorry
no,
because of exactly what happened in your case. I haven't found that suede, I mean, that lasts as good as the genuine
leather.
leather, like that is like another finish, like,
Yes.
but that's probably why I'm still resisting. Instead, I'm moving to actually we're going to do more of olive leather and not this way, or we're going to
Yeah.
do a woven leather next season. So it's like I'm trying to tweak it,
Yeah.
like everyone asking for a trend led in
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that because I really care about people not coming back to me in 2 years like you did and being
Yeah.
upset.
Correct, correct. No, I will, maybe whenever I'll meet you, I'll show it to you, what has actually become. Or perhaps I was just thinking while you were saying that maybe you can create like a fusion of leather and suede, and then, some part of suede in where, it's not in the bottom, doesn't get, ruined. I don't know.
I even designed that and people would say I prefer still fully. Great.
Oh,
That's how the like focus group results
fair enough.
turned out. So we do test, we do explore, but I don't like I'm very careful about what I produce.
No, fair
'Cause
enough.
I
And
try to minimize headache. I know what my customers will complain to me. So I prevent it happening before it even starts.
no, I understand. And you have the pulse of the market, right? You understand how they think. But
Well, we're a
I,
small brand. We don't have the luxury to throw the money
no, I hear you.
and
I
risk.
hear you. And speaking of all these brands, I always wonder that, the Chanel 2.55 or Hermes Birkin or Kelly or, the Lady Dior from Dior. I mean, these have become the iconic brands and they appreciate in price just like any other asset class. So how and what do you think is the reason behind this particular models have become iconic? And what do you think actually differentiated that particular model? And in your view, do you want to make one particular bag or a model in your range as well, like that?
Well, it really surprises me what becomes iconic versus what gets out of the collection the next season. Because it's never about what I think it would be. And that's why we keep innovating and bringing new products every season to the collection to test
Mm-hmm.
and try.
Mm-hmm.
And products that I think will be a hit become actually a, I don't know, medium level seller.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
some products, actually, I want to get it out of the collection and don't like. People are demanding it over and over. So it's just very like exciting and also interesting for me to watch that happening. But you know what? I let our customers lead the way because whatever they're willing to buy, that's where we create more similar designs or
Mm.
expand that range and bring different sizes of that. So that's what we do. What will be iconic? Honestly, I don't know how it happened for other brands. I think in the Birkin case, it's probably, I
The
read the
story.
story of that a huge article about how the first one was created. It was
Yeah.
like by Jane Birkin asking the head of Hermes, like, I
To
want
draw
this
it.
bag. And then they created this and it was sold for I don't know how many millions recently.
Yeah,
So,
recently. It
but
was in an auction.
I think again, here comes the thing. The aesthetic beauty, I think, is what people care as much as whether it works with their lifestyle. Birkin bag
Mm.
worked because the woman could actually first time put what they needed in that bag and it worked for the woman.
True,
So
true.
that's why everyone loved. And by then, probably a bag similar to that was not created, right?
Mm.
Again, it comes back to the audience, knowing your audience, what they want, their lifestyle, what they need.
Mm.
Like these days, all I hear is, for example, lightness, right? I can create the most beautiful bag, but then if it's heavy, I'm sorry, I'm not going to make you to the next collection. Like it's not going to happen because I know second moment my customers will throw it on my head. Like this is too heavy. When I put my laptop, I can't carry it. We have created a gorgeous bag recently, and I had to eliminate it. It wouldn't work. So, and then they say I have a back problem. And women over 30, they carry lots, right? Like they have children. they need their hands free. So we turn that beautiful design into a backpack, right? That's what, like, I think understanding what your consumer needs and offering them in a beautiful aesthetics is
Yeah.
essential. And that's what all those brands I think did right. And I hope we're doing the same.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny. The reason I was laughing that I have one Prada bag, which is gorgeous bag, and you can put laptop, you can do stuff. It is so heavy as it is. I'm not even kidding. I think it's more than 2 kilos of just the bag,
Oh,
and I carry the world in my bag. And literally, my mom, my best friends, they do not even want to touch my bag because they're like, it's so heavy, like it'll give me a back pain. And once I'd gone to Paris, and you know how we share the load. So my one handle my friend was holding, and the other one I was holding because it was
that's
so heavy.
ridiculous. And that's the thing, like the other thing when it comes back to what our consumers need, like you can take the most beautiful designer bag, and if you can't,
It's
our
not
customer
functional. No.
cannot put their laptop in. So that's what we do differently. Like we get the most beautiful design and aesthetic, and then we add like our iconic bag now, I would say close to iconic is like would be Emma bags. It's getting more and more popular. But what we do differently in that bag that we changed in like a beautiful designer bag is like we added the laptop compartment that's protective. We added all the other extra pockets inside where people can accommodate their passport and phone safely. Literally, that bag saved my life.
Really.
When I was in Paris, my water bottle leaked in the bag. And
Oh,
if that passport was not in that safe, slip pocket,
section. Yeah.
I would be cooked. Like literally, like imagine all your like passport in pieces. Like all these little details, I think that improve everyday life, and
Oh
that's
my
light.
God.
So
Oh my
yeah.
God. I am a culprit of all the things which you're saying. And my mom, the first time I got the LV tote, the never full bag, and that was my first luxury purchase. You know, when I came and I was showing off to my mom, you know, from my salary, I got it. And my mother, the first thing she said, it doesn't have a zip. Like they make such expensive bags that it doesn't have a zip. Like what happens when you put in the airport, you know, in the like whatever up on the whatever the cabinet,
Yeah.
what happens? And I did not even think that way. And she cursed me so much, not for buying something expensive, but buying something totally, you know, useless in terms of the functionality. So I mean, I was just revisiting how much grief she gave me for buying something so silly in terms of the practicality. So,
Well, let me tell you a story. Like when you work for big corporates that are especially public, the concern is how could we make profit out of this? So when you don't add a zip, actually you make an extra, say, 10% margin on that
really,
product. And then also consumers are more willing to buy a more economically affordable bag than something that would be a bit more pricey when the zip is added, right? So it's like optimizing it
wow,
for all these concerns is what corporates care about. In my case, I care about what your mother cares about and what I want aesthetically.
right.
So, my mom is exactly the same, zipping and like making it secure. One day, my sister came to me with one of the samples we had because we test it before it goes to production. Okay, take this back, try. If there's any problem, we will fix it. And one bag, because of exactly same problem, there was a gap in the bag flap, and she lost her car keys. And
Oh,
getting a car key replacement, it was a hell. She gave me a very hard time on it. Luckily, it was my sister. But if it's a customer, how
yeah,
angry they can get for this. So
I
we have to
agree.
change the flap before it goes to production. So
Wow.
all these little things I think are extremely important. The use of bag and making it safe, secure, light, functional, as much as beautiful, I think is extremely important. And I think that's why the brand is growing because we actually pinpoint all the pain points of customers trying to fix it.
More power to you, more power to you. And I want to know that, you know, many luxury houses, like no matter how big or small they are, they're leaning towards high profile collaborations with artists, with tech brands, with other designers, perhaps even influencers as well. So have you considered any partnership, you know, for a limited edition or something like that, which
Yeah.
you are trying to collaborate?
Yes, we try to partner with sustainable emerging brands specifically that reach our audience. So we do a lot of pop-ups with such sustainable brands, especially in London. We have a lot of pop-up coming in November.
Mm-hmm.
So just another reminder to everyone. We do that. We do lots of collaboration with hotels to do again pop-ups and get exposure to our customer. Um, and when we do collaboration with other brands, again, sustainability and the premium feel is very important. So we collaborated recently with another designer group of friends, and like one was making scarves. So there are conversations going on about how could we add like the silk scarves on to our collection. So
Mm-hmm.
that we always explore that. And
Mm-hmm.
then what else? We also do a lot of collaboration with influencers, especially the ones that champion sustainable, like and luxury, premium quality designers and brands.
Mm.
So we handpick our influencers as well, and try to have long-term collaborations with them to also tell our story. Because me telling my story is
Mm.
one thing, someone else telling my
Yeah.
story is a totally different thing. So we really like working with people that love telling our story uh, and getting our name out there.
Amazing, amazing. And as in the luxury market is constantly, or it's a constant flux, right? From massive growth or, trying to get into the resale economy or even the new consumer patterns. So what is the future for your brand? And do you anticipate something different in 3 to 5 years, or do you want the brand to be acquired by some major conglomerate? And what's your vision? How do you want to take this brand forward?
Well, I think it's I would like to grow it as much as I could with our own resources. It's going really well right now, and there is a demand and momentum. But in the long run, I would like to exit when the right valuation comes.
Okay.
I'm not in a rush as luxury, building a luxury brand takes time. And I
Mm.
think we're in a good place now. We have a very good repeat customer rate. We have an increasing growth rate with new customers. People like us. It's like customer reviews are in the right place, and everything's for th those things really encourage us, as well as the
Mhm.
innovation part is like something big to grow. And I think use of olive leather bags is unique. Not every brand does it, and or even if they do it, not in the way we do it. So I think it would be a great value to a big luxury house as their sustainable brand. And that side of the range is something I would like to really grow.
Amazing.
It won't be overnight. It takes time for people
Yeah.
to switch. We can't change the world and make everyone vegetarian like you overnight. That won't happen.
Mm.
But we're trying our best to be a pioneer in sustainable luxury. And I think it would be a great value to any luxury house or any other party that's willing to invest in such a brand. So yes, exit is definitely in our plan.
Let's manifest it, and I hope people are listening so that
Yes,
they
eventually,
get the
so I
cue.
can have a glass of wine and design things just for pleasure under a grape tree.
Amazing. Yes, yes, let's manifest that happens
Yeah,
very,
I still
very
didn't
soon.
have a chance to do that, by the way. It's been over, I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah, maybe we both can actually share a glass of wine, and then we can
I
actually
would
talk
love that.
about a lot of other interesting stuff apart from the
I
bags.
would love that, yeah.
But last but not least, I really want to know that what is the one piece of advice you would give it to all the listeners today who are aspiring to be an entrepreneur at starting to, create their own brand in this dominating market? What would you give?
I think following the passion, it's very cliche. Following the passion and dream, I think, is essential. If you're not passionate about any idea you're discussing or thinking about, forget about it. You will give up in the third year or maybe less years. The thing is, there is a huge pressure, especially for LBS alumni, right? Like when you graduate, you have these tons of opportunities in front of you, very well paid corporate jobs. I had lots of male friends that had to give up on their idea because they were about to engage and like they had a very good job offered on the table. And entrepreneurship requires, unfortunately, lots of passion, but also funding and money, right?
Yeah.
And you may have you may have passion, but limited funding. That will really restrict what you want to do with your life.
Mm.
So at times that are difficult, if you don't have the passion and enthusiasm, all
Mm.
those challenges will just make you go back, right?
Yeah.
So you won't pursue it, you will give up. But if you're very passionate about what you do, you love what you do, if every day feels like a holiday, right?
Mm.
And you come with it, you wake up with the energy to do it,
Mm.
that's the right idea.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Because people romanticize about being an entrepreneur, but it is actually very
It
lonely and very tough place to
it
be.
is not easy, like having your,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you need to build up your support work, because doing it all alone, when in the beginning especially, could be quite
Mm.
daunting. And I was very lucky. I had the LBS community, I had the incubator friends, and this and that. Like, so I had a lot of network around me that kept me floating and going.
Mm.
But if I wasn't like so passionate, I would probably give up in the first 3 years, as every other entrepreneur, like
Yes.
90% of them do.
Yes. 9 out of 10 startups actually go bust in just first 3 years' time.
And I will tell you the reason. It's not because the idea was bad. Because it will always get tough. And at times that it's tough with your partner, with the funding, with the money, with everything, if you're not enthusiastic enough, you don't find the solution. Problems
Mm.
never end. They
Yeah.
will keep on going.
Yes.
But if you are not enthusiastic to solve the problem,
Mm.
that's the time it fails. Not because the idea was bad.
True, true. And did you have like one of those moments where, nothing was working out, or maybe there was some like major setback, personal life, professional life, and which was the best learning you had, and looking back, you were like, thank God that happened?
It is like over time, things change a lot. In the first 3, 4 years is different than the time you give birth to a child, and they're like, the priorities change and all of that. So I set up this business after graduation, and I was in my 30s, and it was beautiful time. But things change, my priorities change along the time. And with that, also the brand's momentum changes. Like
Mm.
at the time I have the birth, for example, for first 2 years after birth was difficult time for me. So
Yeah,
the brand had to slow down, and that's
sure.
okay.
That's
You don't need
okay.
to, and that you don't need to shut it down because
No.
you have a baby. It's a beautiful thing. And then there were other times that I had to prepare my son for exams or whatsoever. Again, the priorities changed. So I had to slow down. And now everything is down. Like I can pace. It's okay. It's okay to have, like, business is never like that.
Mm.
Unless you're a
No,
man, have no other responsibility than, you know, growing a business and well funded by a VC or whatsoever. It doesn't go that way,
correct.
right?
I was
And
about to say that.
it's in, I think, women's case, we need to accept that we may have different priorities at different times that kick in our life. We should, my only learning is like it is not a good excuse to give up on what you started. I think it's okay to slow down and prioritize what is important in your
Yeah.
life along the way and
Yes.
not give up. I'm
Yes,
very
absolutely.
religious about my business, I have to say. There have been many times, family pressure, this and that, and oh, not enough profit, oh, this, oh, there's this requirement. Like, yes, but like, I won't stop doing what I do. And now
Absolutely.
I understand the value of that even more after a very long time because women are pushed in every direction.
Mm.
You're the caring person, you're the mother, you're the wife, and like you are the supportive source of a family. And like when you try to do something on your own in a business and try to make it work, no one has any respect for that. Like, and
No,
like you're still
I hear
expected
you.
to do everything
Do
else while a
everything.
man goes
Yeah.
to work, brings the money in, like, and they're
That's
only
it.
responsible for bringing the money in.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
A woman
Yeah.
is not like that. They're so multifunctional. Actually, it's kind of a hunch on our back because we're so capable
True.
to
True.
multi-function. If you give so many jobs to a man, they would probably collapse like a donkey second day.
Absolutely.
So, and within given all those things, I don't complain about any of
No,
my
no.
responsibilities, but still, I think we really have to not be doubting ourselves that
No, I
we can
agree.
keep something going.
And I think I would also say that never feel guilty of also prioritizing your work sometimes over your kids or your family or, maybe that
No,
holiday because it's all a part of, who you are. And like you said, if you're passionate about
100%.
it, you will figure out a way eventually.
100%. And everything will be against you. This is what one of my good classmates told me as an entrepreneur. Everything will be against you, especially in the beginning. Suppliers won't want to work with you because you're new. Banks won't give you a loan because of this. Like everyone, even your partner will say, go and get a corporate job, right? We will have all of this as an entrepreneur because it's hard.
Correct.
Hard emotionally and financially to keep your head up. Let's be honest. It's not like oh, I created my business and it's lovely.
No.
I'm telling you, after 15 years, I still didn't have that glass of wine. So, so forget about it. It's hard. I end up doing packing and this, fixing
Yeah,
that. Like, so it never ends what you need to do. But I think it's very important to stick to what you love doing and make it work.
absolutely. Absolutely. On that note, before I let you go, I'm going to ask some rapid fire questions. Whatever comes to your mind, you can just quickly just tell us. Signature handbag from your collection you can't live without.
I think I love my new olive leather Midiama bag. It's
Okay.
the most beautiful one.
Really?
If it was next to me, I would show it. But like I love the way it gets slouchy. I need to bring it back if you wait for a second.
Okay, sure.
So this one is made out of olive leather, and the way it gets slouchy,
Wow.
and the way it drapes, and the shine,
Love it.
and the way it stands, it's it's gorgeous. It doesn't lose shape.
Yeah,
I'll show it here.
love it.
So when you just put it on something, it stands as it should.
Amazing. Yeah,
You have no idea how much time I spend with my leather supplier to give this look. While
amazing.
it's perfectly like the way it drapes, the way it stands, it doesn't open up when it's,
Yeah,
squeezed.
right.
It is like it has a great strap that works.
Okay,
It comes with a short strap also. I don't have it right now with me.
okay,
But
okay.
like that short strap can turn it into an evening bag.
Wow.
I have to say, this is probably, I'm also very into sustainability, but the reason I love it is not only the sustainability, but the way the material stands for this bag, I think is another story. And the lightness, it's definitely at least like 30% lighter than real leather.
I'm
So
going to give it a
I think
shot
I'm a
for sure.
complete switcher from real leather, which I
So,
was championing for a very long time, to an olive leather
yes.
material. Like I think I will make more of olive leather
Okay.
pieces.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get
Yeah.
my hands on this. So, okay, next question. The one city or museum that sparks your creativity the most?
One city off?
City or museum?
Well, I was very inspired when I went to Ferragamo Museum in Florence.
I've been there.
That was like my real
Amazing. Yeah.
treat. What I love the most is he was so detail oriented about women's feet and the whole skeleton and everything. He studied feet, like like the science of it and everything, and designed the shoes around it. So that to
Yeah.
me, that's such a detail oriented mind. I find lots of similarity in how my brain and creativity works with him. I mean, of course, he's a huge designer, but that's I find it fascinating. Her beautiful designs, again, combined with what the consumer really needs for their feet, is to me exactly what I want to do and what I
Inspiring.
do. And so I
Okay.
love that. It's very inspiring. Ferragamo Museum in Florence. The city again, Florence.
It's gorgeous.
Florence was like beautiful. Like what I love the most is you can see still a lot of emerging designers and small boutiques and shops there. It's not occupied with this like in every other big city these days, wherever I go, I see the same exact brands, right? Whether high street or luxury. I'm tired of seeing same store. I want to see what is local. I want to see who designs next to this
Yeah,
little
yeah,
shop. Like I want to meet the real people who are behind those beautiful products.
true,
To
true.
me, it's a real
Inspiration.
pleasure to meet designers and
Okay,
support them.
great. The most iconic designer or your most favorite designer ever?
Hmm. I said Ferragamo, didn't I?
Okay.
I think I also love Bottega Veneta and Loewe. I have to admit, I love their aesthetics. I'm a Mediterranean. I grew up by the sea. So our bags are very nautical inspired. So you'll
Mm,
notice from the knots and like little other details,
mm,
we have a lot of inspiration that comes from that seaside and
right.
sun.
Okay, okay.
So I love that.
Your one self-care routine.
Uh, Having a hot pot yoga every Saturday.
Hmm.
That's why I'm still in these costumes. I went out for that, but like my end they ended up in an Apple store to fix my son's iPad, which was more emergent. Sorry for
Best,
my costume, but this is my everyday life on a Saturday.
you look lovely. Best piece of advice you've ever received.
Ah, good one. There will be days like that.
True.
When you have tough times, I think, and it happens a lot in our everyday life, there will be days like that, like, and just let it be, and the next day will be better. So,
One artist you would like to collaborate with.
hmm, Ferragamo.
One book which completely changed the way you look at things, or most favorite book.
The Secret.
I love that too. One iconic bag you're dreaming of owning apart from your own.
Hmm, good one. I didn't invest in any other brand for a very long time, but the last one I invested was from Hugo Boss.
Okay.
I don't know what will be the next. Any bag I aesthetically fall in love with. And I'm more into unknown brands that I find randomly on a road in a European city than just big
Okay.
brands. Let's put it that way.
Okay. If you could meet 16 years old Esin today, what would you tell her?
Hmm. You will achieve all your dreams.
Amazing. One rule you live by when mixing the luxury with street style.
Making it okay. A handbag will always uplift the look. Even if you go out with like trainers and the sweatpants that are decent enough, the handbag you carry will
Mm-hmm.
always uplift the look and uh, make your day. So that it's a very important investment. You use it every day. Unlike like a top, white top that
Yeah.
you use once in a while, a bag is worth the investment because you carry it every day, and it's important to get it in the way you like. That represents your ID.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't agree with you more. And Esin, on that note, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I had a great time in deep diving into the world of your brand and your bags, and it was just incredible conversations. It's the reminder that the elegance and ambitions are not opposite to each other, they can be allies. And you've shown us that the true luxury is not about access, it's about intention. And the design can be brilliant, bold, smart, and functionable, unlike all other things which we discussed about. So thank you for sharing that story with all of us. And because this is a global sisterhood of creators, dreamers, and doers, and all the women who are listening today, go achieve your those small ideas because they're never too small and you can always make it big. And they're waiting for you. Shape them, style them, be unforgettable. And just like Essen, you are a force too. So go live that dream of yours and make it bigger. And stay inspired, stay stylish, and stay powerful. Until next time, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a lovely day and
Thank
week.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to You Are a Force. Hit subscribe and join us next week for more powerful stories from women rewriting the rules. Until then, keep building, keep leading, and remember, you are a force.